Lebanon and Israel have taken a significant diplomatic step by resuming direct discussions for the first time in many years, holding an initial meeting in Washington on Tuesday under the mediation of the United States of America. Well, this marks the first high-level trilateral engagement between the three sides since 1993, coming at a time of heightened tensions across West Asia. Lebanon's ambassador to the United States, Nada, described the talks as constructive and emphasized the urgency of addressing the worsening humanitarian crisis in Lebanon caused by ongoing conflict. She called for an immediate ceasefire between Israel forces and Hezbollah, along with the return of displaced civilians to their homes. Muawad also stressed the significance of fully implementing the cessation of hostilities announced in November 2024 and reaffirmed Lebanon's commitment to sovereignty and national security, while expressing appreciation for Washington's role in facilitating dialogue. On the Israel side, Ambassador later characterized the meeting as a positive and productive two-hour exchange. However, he avoided committing to a ceasefire in southern Lebanon, instead stating that Israel's primary focus remains the security of its citizens. His remarks highlighted a key divergence between the two sides, with Israel prioritizing security concerns while Lebanon pushes for de-escalation and humanitarian relief. Well, all these discussions are unfolding within a broader regional crisis involving Iran, Israel, and the United States. A fragile ceasefire involving all these parties had been reached just a week earlier, but tensions remain high. The United States, under President Donald Trump, has escalated pressure on Iran by initiating a naval blockade targeting Iranian ports, particularly affecting movement through the strategically critical Strait of Hormuz. The blockade, announced after unsuccessful peace talks, allows non-Iran bound vessels to pass but restricts Iranian-linked shipping, raising concerns about global trade and energy supply. Well, despite the escalation, there are indications that diplomatic channels remain open. Donald Trump stated that Iran is seeking a deal, while Vice President J.D. Vance noted progress in negotiations and expressed expectations that Iran would cooperate in reopening the Strait of Hormuz. However, he has also warned that the nature of negotiations could shift if Tehran fails to act, and the geopolitical tensions have already impacted global markets, particularly oil prices, following signs that the United States and Iran may resume negotiations. Oil prices dropped sharply, with Brent crude falling around 4.5% and West Texas Intermediate declining nearly 7%, reflecting market sensitivity to developments around the Strait of Hormuz, a key global oil transit route. Meanwhile, the economic repercussions are being felt beyond the region, as in Germany. Finance Minister Lars warned that the energy shock triggered by the Iran conflict could persist, leaving the economy fragile, and growth forecasts have been downgraded, and German authorities are now focusing on strengthening economic resilience and reducing dependency on external energy sources. Well, overall, the renewed dialogue between Lebanon and Israel represents a cautious but important step towards de-escalation, even as broader regional tensions involving Iran and global powers continue to create uncertainty.
What gives me hope is the fact that the Lebanese government made it very clear that they will no longer be occupied by Hezbollah. We discovered today that we're on the same side of the equation. That's the most positive thing we could have come away with. We are both united in liberating Lebanon from an occupation power dominated by Iran called Hezbollah. Lebanon is under their occupation, and we are suffering from their constant barrages of missiles and terror attacks trying to cross our border. We talked about a number of things, and most importantly, the vision, the long-term vision, where there'll be a clearly delineated border between our countries, and where the only reason we'll need to cross each other's territory will be in business suits to conduct business or in bathing suits to go on vacation.
That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.